Welcome back to the Knife Show, people. I am here to talk to you about the Civivi Brazen today, and I've got a couple different models to show you. Teaser. Now we'll start with this guy. This is the purple G10 Tanto, blacked out. Now on this model, they use the Sandvik, the 14C28N. On this model, which is the one I actually had first, it is their Damascus. And this has got micarta. And you can see at some point when I took this apart and put it back together, I definitely put that pivot screw in wrong because it is facing the wrong way. Put that aside for a moment. So this standard model, I think on Amazon they sell for just under 50. They've got the Drop-point and the Tanto. I don't have too many Tantos in my collection, so I thought this was a good one to beat up on and really get to use and not feel bad about spending a lot of money. Blacked out liners, blacked out pivot, pocket clip, nice deep carry clip. And I love how when Civivi does the deep carry, those screws right there, they're not the mushroom heads that pop up and get in the way of your pocket. They're flat, and those are awesome. That's exactly how you do it. You can see all that internal milling to keep the weight down. I think, I want to say this is like 3.67 ounces, definitely under 4. It's pretty light. Backspacer is a polymer, or might even be G10, but I think it's polymer. And it's on bearings. This is a really good example of a knife that is tuned perfectly for flipping and thumb studs, which is not easy to do. Usually when you have a flipper, you want a pretty strong detent, and translating that into your thumb can hurt or not go so well. And if you have the detent too light, obviously, and geared for the thumb stud, then the flipper can be light. But this is just, it's perfect. They did a perfect job getting it right in the middle where it comes out with authority. It's got a nice, strong, sharp detent, crispy, but with the thumb stud, it feels really good. It's not a strain at all, and you can easily reverse finger flick it. It's fun using Tantos. And if anyone out there hates me saying Tanto and wants me to say Tanto, I hear you. But you just got to pick a side. You got to say it one way, and you got to say it that way the whole time. So it's Tanto. So we got 6s on the body, T8s on the pivot. Now, as far as something I don't like, this guy right here. I'm not a fan of lanyard holes in knives. I think that if you are going to do lanyards, putting it on the back similar to this is probably the way to do it. But this handle is small enough where this right here, let's do this without cutting myself, this right here was actually irritating the palm of my hand, and it was getting in the way. Not terrible, but noticeable, and especially in that Mall Ninja reverse grip outside of 7-Eleven when someone tries to stab you for your 40 and you have to hold your knife like this. Super uncomfortable. So you can see on this one, I actually just took it off, took some sandpaper, shaved it off. I didn't do the prettiest job, but it is significantly more comfortable to me when that's gone. And I just think the knife looks better, but that is personal opinion. Let's move on to this guy for a moment. Try to catch the light well. Out of all the Damascus blades I've had, this is certainly the one that I've used the most, which isn't saying all that much because I still only use this for cardboard and nothing major. But it has been nice to use it and resharpen it because with my Sebenza, even with the Civivi, I haven't used them enough to need to sharpen them. And this one, it held its edge pretty well. I think it's 10 CR is what they use, like 10 CR 15 is what they use. I'm not sure what the other alloy is, but it held its edge like 8 CR, 10 CR, nothing amazing, but pretty good. Really easy to resharpen. So again, blacked out everything. But this one's got micarta, not the nicest micarta. It looks really nice, but it really feels just like G10, honestly. I mean, you just can't see any of the fuzzies. There's nothing sticking out. It's not really soft on your hand. It looks like micarta, but it kind of just acts like or behaves like G10. I have heard on the newer models that the micarta is better from Civivi. I really do like that drop point shape. And with those ball bearings, you can really tell it wants to drop. And that goes for both of these. No blade play at all. And this model has something that I really appreciate, and that is the internal stop pin right here. It's actually part of the blade. That little garage door action. I much prefer that versus the external stop pin up over here. It's got a little track inside the liner that it rides on, and then feels really secure. And because you've got that pin sticking out of the blade, there is just zero lateral movement at all. It's like zero. I think that's the best way to do a stop pin. Let's get you some nice close-ups. I mentioned before, this is about $50 on Amazon. I want to say when I bought this, it was 70-ish. Is that the same pocket clip? Yeah, it is. It's a real easy knife to take apart too. And what I like about this one is it takes this knife, which looks like it wants to murder some cardboard and stab things and just like do bad, terrible things. And with the exact same model, you give it the drop point, you give it the Damascus and some micarta, and now all of a sudden, this is a classy looking knife. Like, this is a really classy looking knife. You hand this to people and they think it's significantly more expensive than what it really is. And I like that even though it's geared to flip, no problem, they still have it nailed where you can just roll it right out. There's none of that pop where you try and it goes out halfway. Like, you can just roll this right out. Very, very versatile. And it checks all the boxes with what you'd want. So if you're watching this 2 years after it came out and you haven't given the Brazen a shot, pick it up. It's a really good value for what you're getting. You can get it for as little as, I want to say, like 45 with the coupon code, or in the 70s or 80s if you want the upscale version. But great knife. Thin too. Forgot to mention this, but let's just compare it to Feldspar right here. It's a little bit hard to do because the Feldspar is contoured. Pick a different one. Let's, wow, put this next to that Migron. There you go. Well, I'm not doing the greatest job of showing you, but it's a pretty thin knife. Thank you for watching. We'll be back soon with another one.